Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Young Twan. Earlier today I made this loop in FL that I thought sounded so dope. And I wasn't recording making it, but I wanted to show you guys my process that went into it, composing the sample. This sample is kind of in the style of Pvlace, and I did try and recreate the kind of Pvlace sound, and I'm gonna show you guys how I did it. So let's get straight to it. Okay, so first what I started with is this contact piano. It's a Una Corda Pure with the basic preset. And I went in it and I laid, first what I did is I laid these chords. So this is what I did. And then I added little notes, kind of like passing notes, just to fill it in. Yeah, it sounds super fire. And then what I did, I threw it in the mixer and I added this isotope vinyl and cut out some of the lows and some of these low mids as well, a little bit. And then what I did next, I felt like it needed some kind of like lead. So I went into the Mellotron and I used this flute that I like to use. It's the Rubicon Part 1 flute. I don't know what the end is. And it sounds like this. So yeah, I really like the sound of it, and I laid this pattern. So yeah, with the piano. And then I repeated the flute. And next, what I did is I noticed in a lot of Pvlace samples that have been placed recently, like the Rex Too Skinny record and the Pvlace record. In a lot of these samples, Pvlace has one part with one lead sound and then another part with another counter melody. So he has like kind of two parts within one sample that you might be able to use at different parts of the sound of the beat when you're making the beat. So I felt like at one point I will want to drop the flute and add in another counter melody that could still carry a good energy in the melody. So I went in Contact and I found this Scarby, what is it? It's Scarby Vintage Keys, and it's the Scarby A200. And I laid down these notes. I forgot to also say the effects that I had on the Mellotron flute was just a Valhalla Vintage Verb and a parametric EQ. Parametric EQ cutting like, you see the harsh frequencies around here. I cut some of the lows and some of the very, very highs. And I put the low cut a bit higher and the high cut a bit lower. And yeah. And so back to the Scarby Vintage Keys, I added, this one I added a parametric EQ again to cut out some of the lows, some of the really bad frequencies around here. Went in Valhalla Vintage Verb, did the same thing that I do, high cut, low cut, and I turned the mix down to about halfway. And I felt like it was the actual sound. I wanted to add an imager to kind of stereoize it a little better. And I turned the width down and I messed with the asymmetry and rotation just so it could tilt a bit more to the right, just so it could balance out in the ears. So with the piano, this is what it gives. Okay, and now the last sound that I added, I just wanted to add the pad to kind of just texturize
It's looking very retexturized.
Oh, wow.
the melody and give it just that final touch. And what I did, I went into Contact and I took this Gravity library that I really like. I went in the Airy and Breathy section and I picked the Inside Heaven. I turned off this thing right here. I don't know what it is. It's the punish. I turned off the punish and took down the attack all the way down. And this is what it gives. Oh wait, I just take off the effects just to show you guys. And with the effects, so with the effects, I added a fruity parametric EQ again, just to cut the lows and some of the highs. Then I added a halftime on one bar just to kind of bring it down an octave and also give it a bit more sauce. I added isotope vinyl and turned up the wear and a tiny bit of the warp and put the year to 1930, and this is what it sounds with it. Yeah, it just gives it a bit more sauce. And I added a reverb, again, the same reverb, same presets, same settings as high cut and low cut. And I turned the mix down to about like just under a quarter, and this is what it sounds like. And with the piano, this is what it gives you. Okay, and now I rendered it all out into single sample, into 8-bar audio files, just so it would be easier to rearrange the sample a little bit and not have the reverb kind of leak into the next 8 bars. This is what I tend to do, and it's a good tip I encourage you guys to do. Because when this audio file is done at the end of the 8 bars, it just cuts. There's no reverb, delay, overlaying into the next 8 bars, which could, you know, if you're trying to chop up the sample at the end of the 8 bars, you know, to kind of differentiate the hook and the verses and the introduction. With the reverb, it can kind of mess it up, so I just did that. What I ended up doing after is I took this and I brought it into Edison, and I turned down the sample rate to about 11,000, and this is what it sounds like. It just gives it kind of that retro vintage feel. Just makes it sound a bit old and a bit weird. And then I added, on a master, I added this Waves, it's like Abbey Road vinyl or something like that. And I loaded this mastering starting point preset, and I think I took the clicks down and the noise down and kept a bit of the crackle, and I didn't touch anything else. And then I added another wave shell. I added the J37, and I pulled up this preset called Retro Mono Overhead, and I don't think I touched much. Maybe took the saturation down, and I didn't touch the rest. And yeah, this is what it gave you, what you just heard. So yeah guys, this is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will leave a free download link to this sample if you guys want to cook up to the sample or just get it. It's gonna be in the description. The link will be in the description. If you would also like any of the samples that I've previously done in the previous tutorials, just let me know in the comments down and I'll send it to the people that want it. Let me know what kind of tutorial you guys want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next video.